Now back to four-time Tour de Truth winner, Sam Seder.
Okay, on the phone to provide some balance. I don't know what the balance is to this, but is General J.C. Christian, who is the proprietor of the blog patriotboy.blogspot.com. From the site, it says, Patriot is a white, heterosexual, Christian American. His award-winning blog, Jesus General, can be found at Patriot Boy as the official online organ of the glorious Christian conservative cultural revolution. Welcome to the program. What should I refer to you as, sir?
You can call me General.
Okay, General. So let me ask you, were you surprised when Virginia Republican Senator George Allen called an Indian American campaign worker for his opponent, macaca?
Oh, no, not at all. I think if anything, it shows that he has a real commitment to spreading diversity and tolerance.
I'm not sure I understand. How does that spread diversity and tolerance?
Well, you know, you have to look at his audience there. His audience was made up basically of the most put-upon people in the country right now. We're talking about white, Christian, conservative, heterosexual males. I mean, I think we all know about the sad, sorry plight of the white Christian male, and I think he was reaching out to them. They were very uncomfortable that there was a brown person in the room, and I think he was trying to make them feel a little bit more comfortable.
Okay, so you're suggesting that the white Christian males are feeling so uncomfortable that in a room full of 100 white Christian males, Senator Allen was trying to make them feel more comfortable by pointing out and mocking a brown person.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You have to remember the audience. This was a very Republican audience, and I think that he was just trying to set them at ease. And I think you know, all of the other things that we heard from this guy earlier, I think they can be explained the same way.
You're referring to Max Blumenthal, our guest. Now, so tell me, what does macaca mean to you?
Macaca, I don't know. I think it's I think it's just a term that he used to, you know, sure, maybe he was making fun of the guy, but the whole purpose of it was to set the audience at ease. And we've got to remember that these people feel scarred, that they feel that they're the ones that are the victims here.
And so, just tell me again how mocking a brown person sets these people at ease.
Because that's what that's the context that they're used to, you know, if they're ever in the presence of a brown person. I think that's what makes them feel comfortable. You got to remember the audience. I keep telling you this, that this is an audience of very conservative, Republican people, that have, I don't know, they've really had a hard time of it today in these PC times.
Right, in these PC times. Now, our previous guest, as you mentioned, Max Blumenthal from The Nation, has discovered a link between Senator Allen and the Council of Conservative Citizens, formerly the Council of White Conservative Citizens. Tell us a little bit more about that organization from your perspective.
Well, see, that's another instance of him reaching out to a group of people that, you know, showing his commitment of diversity. The Council of Conservative Citizens, or the CCC, is made up of people who can't quite get to K in the alphabet. So that's why they call themselves the CCC. And so he's reaching out to them and in a way that a lot of people tend to put him down. These are, you know, a lot of folks in that organization are people who have had a hard time keeping jobs, graduating from high school, and so forth. And it used to be in the old days that no matter how badly they did in life, they could always say, well, at least I'm white. That's not true anymore. Mm-hmm. And so he was reaching out to them to help them feel better about themselves.
Right, I see. Now, you actually spoke to the CEO of the Council of Conservative Citizens, a guy named Gordon Lee Baum, who apparently, when he took a photo with George Allen, said George Allen got the credibility he wanted and we got the credibility we wanted. Why did you call him, and what did you say to him?
Well, I called him. his co-host had written a letter to a guy named Arch Pundit, who's a blogger out there, and had brought up, in his letter, a lot of people called it racist because he used the N-word and things like that. But I wanted to call him and just kind of tell him, how I felt about it and agree with a lot of what he was saying.
So you don't think if you use the N-word, you're necessarily a racist?
Oh no, not at all. I mean, it's a word that I think a lot of people are like Gordon Baum, are comfortable using it, and I don't think they mean it in a harmful way at all. I think that they're just trying to use a word that they're very comfortable using.
Yeah. Do you think that they actually feel that black people should have the same rights that they do?
Well, it probably gets back to something that I think that the people like Gordon Baum and George Allen want to get to, and that is kind of an affirmative action program for white people. I mean, we are the most put upon segment of society. If you look around, you don't see any white people in charge of anything anymore.
Excuse me, I just got to stop you there. When you say you look around, you don't see white people in charge of anything. Are you referring to maybe the number of senators who are white or the Congress?
CEOs, Congress, the whole deal.
You don't see any white people in those institutions.
No, not at all, not at all. And I think when I called up.
What color do you think Senator Allen is?
Well, Senator Allen, and that's another good point to make, is another way that he was reaching out to people during the McCock incident is he's from California.
Uh-huh.
So what he was doing was he was reaching out to them to promote Confederate values, which, being a Yankee, he didn't need to do that. But that's what he was doing, and so that shows just how much he embraces tolerance and diversity.
I see, because he's welcoming the people who discriminate against black people into the inner circle.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh. Okay, now I understand that you volunteer. You're a volunteer on the online arm of Senator Allen's reelection campaign.
Oh, absolutely. I've done at least one ad for him, and I've done a number of ads for him. Actually, I put together a sign that people can download that shows his name in a noose. Because I think that's his symbol is a noose. He did have a noose hanging from his ficus tree in his law office a few years ago.
Now you understand he's claimed that that's a lasso.
Well, yeah, it's I guess you could call it a lasso if a lasso has a number of rings around it and looks like a noose. I guess it could be used as a lasso if you put somebody up on a box and put it around their neck.
Right.
Yeah.
And so tell me again your theory about why people might feel uncomfortable if there was a brown person in the room.
Well, you gotta look at the audience. I mean, you've got a bunch of.
No, but I understand what you're saying. But why would a bunch of white people feel uncomfortable if there was a brown person in the room?
Well, because in their regular daily lives, they don't come into contact with brown people. They could live in a part of the country where there might be 40% black people in there, but they tend to the white folks tend to congregate in their own places, and in their real estate dealings, they try to keep everybody separate, and they think that's a good thing.
Can I ask you just a general question? You are the official online organ of the glorious Christian conservative cultural revolution. What does that mean?
Well, I'm actually the commander of the Red Guard, and the glorious of the glorious conservative Christian cultural revolution. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to change America. We're trying to make it a more godly America. And I think Dr. Dobson and Pastor Robinson and all these folks are working to do that. I envision a time when we take the godless out of their homes, march them down Main Street, put dunce caps on them, and do some public criticism.
I see. And what would you do, just perchance, with Jewish people?
Well, with the Jewish people, I mean, if they're not on board, then they'd be marched down the street in the same way.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you, General, at patriotboy.blogspot.com. Your perspective is, well, I guess it's really enlightening, or should I say enlightening.